Zig Ziglar had a great thought. He says, failure is an event. It is not a person. Failure is an event, not a person. You're not a failure. You chose not to do those activities, so you didn't get the results. Yet if you choose to do the activities, you will get results. We have failed before, but we are not failures, he says. We have failed before, but we are not failures. So my dad gave me this card 25 years ago. Actually, it was a cutout of a newspaper, and I laminated it, and I carry it in my wallet every single day of my life, ever since he gave this to me. And it was at I was down 25, 30 years ago. It was a very, very, very difficult time in my life. And when things get down, I pull this out, and I take a look at it. And I want to share this with you. It's kind of getting old and yellow, and it's kind of cut off a little bit. But it says, don't be afraid to fail. You failed many times, although you don't remember. You fell down the first time you tried to walk. You almost drowned the first time you tried to swim. Did you hit the ball the first time you swung a bat? Heavy hitters, the ones who hit the most home runs, also strike out a lot. R.H. Macy failed 7 times before his store in New York City caught on. English novelist John Kersey got 753 rejection slips before he published 564 books. Babe Ruth struck out 1,330 times, yet he also hit 714 home runs. It goes on to say, don't worry about failure. Worry about the chances you miss when you don't even try. Every day, carry this with me. I wasn't born rich. I didn't go to college. I grew up in Pico Rivera, California. That's where I grew up. I have been broke. I've been so broke that so I could have some money for lunch. I used to have this, I'd go home at night and I would put change in a jar. I don't know if you guys do that or not, but I would put change in a jar. Did it for you. I actually still do it, okay? Put change in a jar, and at some point when you get all this change, then I have my grandkids sit and sort money, and we count money and count the change. It's kind of fun now. But at one time, I used to reach into that bucket and pull out some quarters so I could have $2 or $3 to be able to have some sustenance, some food for lunch, because I didn't have any money. My clothes, my suits, actually didn't wear suits at the time, my pants had been cleaned so many times that they were shiny. Guys, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, okay? They were shiny. Hadn't bought a new pair of pants in I can't tell you how long. Interesting story. When I met my wife, I was just kind of coming back a little bit, and the story, she still kids me that I had the last pair of shoes that from the old days still had a little hole in it. I just remembered that story. So I don't stand in front of you have been born with a silver spoon. I stand in front of you as a person who's been where you're at. I, at one time, needed an overcoat. It was a particularly bad weather one year, and I needed this overcoat. One of these London fog kind of deals. You can go buy them. I don't know. At the time, I don't think it was more than $80 or $90. And I went into the men's store to buy it, and I didn't have the $80 or $90 in my checking account. I didn't have credit card with $90 on it. But I had 2 credit cards with about $50 on each. So I bought it and gave the store the 2 credit cards. And they put half on one credit card and half on the other, and that's how I was able to buy it. I share that with you to say that where you are today doesn't have to be where you'll be tomorrow, because there's hope in the future. There's hope in the future. I wrote down here, if there's hope in the future, then there's power in the present. If there's hope in the future, then there's power in the present. There's hope in the future, there's power in the present. I want you to know that everything I do as an individual and everything we do as a company is designed to show you hope in the future. Every time I get up here and talk, every conversation that we have, every time we ask you to learn a script or a dialogue, or to go do some door knocking, or to do some phone canvassing, every time we talk to you about working on your scripts and dialogues is just trying to help you set up for that moment when the opportunity comes to you so you can grab it and take advantage of it.